In this video, I'll be covering the Lumix G7 for church live streaming and recordings. Hello guys, my name is Sam from Live Production Tips and Tools, and today I'll be talking about the Lumix G7 for church live streaming and recordings. I'll cover some accessories that you may need to be able to start live streaming or recording depending on your setup. So stick around and let's go. Before we start, I have to mention that my friend just bought this camera for his church, and I was so honored to be able to test it for him before he can start using it. I was able to take it out in an outside environment, take some footage with it, experiment with different lenses and different scenarios. I took it to my church as well, and I used it to film some stuff, our sermon, but also try to do some live recording with it in my home office. So I'm gonna pull all the footage that I took outside in a church environment with different lenses at the end of this video so you guys can see what it looks like. I have to mention that in general, I really love this camera, especially if you are on a budget. Even though most of us don't need to record in 4K or live stream in 4K, this camera can still record up to 4K. Not only you can use this camera to live stream or record your services, you can also use it to take some stills or pictures for anything you want, okay? I would suggest you maybe before you start taking pictures with it to invest in a small flashlight. You can find something on Amazon for $50 or $60 that you can use, and this will give you good looking pictures for your church events and any other stuff, okay? This camera costs only $650 US or about 800 Canadian dollars, which is really cheap considering the fact that this camera comes with two lenses. The first being a wide-angle lens, 14 to 42 mm, and the second one being more like a close-up lens, which is 45 to 150 zoom lens, okay? So think about it, for all the money, for only $650 US, you're getting the camera and two lenses, and out of the box, it comes with a battery, everything ready to start recording and live streaming. Let's talk about the accessories that you will need to use with this camera. The first thing you need, obviously with any camera, you need lenses. And this camera, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, it comes with two lenses. These two lenses are great. They can help you get started with what you need, okay? But I have to mention, most churches tend to dim their lights during worship, and these lenses may not be that great for low light situations. Now, if you have that kind of situation where your church tend to dim lights during worship, you may consider investing in a lens that will perform better in low light situation, like this Meike lens that I got from Amazon. This is a 25 mm lens, and it's not a wide angle lens, it's more like a portrait lens. It can perform well in low light because its maximum aperture is 1.8. If you don't understand what it means, it basically means that the lens is going to allow more light into the camera, making the image look better and sharper. But I also have to mention that this lens will give you an effect where you see a blurry background and the main subject in focus. You can use this lens to film more like if you're filming the sermon or your worship service, but you want to focus more like on one or two people maximum, because this lens is not made for capturing a lot of people in a frame. So I want you guys to take a look. It's a small lens. It's made by a company called Meike. I tested it myself. I'm gonna show you some footage that I took with it in a church environment and outside. It looks good. I didn't have any issue with it. The material is good. It's so smooth and nice. It's very small and light, and I'm sure you'll be happy with the results, what you can get from this lens, okay? So apart from this small lens, you still have this lens that came with the camera, plus this one that will help you to capture wide angle. So I'm gonna show you the footage that I took with all the three lenses, and you guys are going to compare, see the differences and what you get from each lens, and you going to make a choice for yourself. Okay, the next accessory that you may need for this camera is a power adapter that actually works with this dummy battery that will help you connect the Lumix G7 to power. Okay, keep in mind this camera comes with one battery, and if you live streaming for 2 hours or 3 hours or the whole service, depending on how long your service will last, this battery may not hold. Okay, so to be at ease and make sure you're covered, you need this AC power adapter. I'll put a link down below so you guys can go get it from Amazon, plus this dummy battery, and I'm gonna show you how it works. So basically this is what you get is a normal power adapter and a dummy battery that you will connect to your power adapter like this. Very simple. Okay, then you connect to your power adapter, and this looks like a battery. This is a Lumix G7 battery, kind of. So what you're gonna do is you're going to remove the actual battery from the camera and put this dummy battery into the camera. Okay, and make sure it clicks and you put it the right way. And the best feature that I liked about this camera is actually they have a little way out here. It's like a door, a small door that they left for you to pass the cable through. Okay, because I've seen some cameras where when you use this dummy battery, it's like you need to leave the door open. Okay, but for this camera you don't have to. You close it like this and lock it. Okay, and if you can see my cable, I have a small door out that the cable is still coming out. Okay, and all you have to do is to take this end and plug into your power outlet. Okay, and you're good to go. The next accessory that you need is an SD card, 64 gig or 120 gig. Just just to make sure you have enough space. If you're recording 4K, you never run out of cards. Okay, the third accessory that I recommend is getting a tripod. Okay, so it's important that you get a tripod, and I'm gonna give you a link down below for you guys to get a nice tripod that will help you get going. The fourth accessory that you will need is an HDMI cable. Okay, so you're gonna need an HDMI cable coming from your camera to the capture card to be able to send the image to your computer where you'll be live streaming from. So I recommend something not more than 50 feet. Actually, this is the HDMI cable that I got for my friend. It's only 40 feet. If you're interested, you can buy something like this, but you don't have to exactly buy the same thing. So depending on the distance, you need to know the distance from the camera, where the camera is gonna be, to where you're gonna be streaming, to where you're gonna be live streaming from, let's say to your audio booth. And this is where you're going to plug your HDMI cable. This camera uses micro HDMI, so you can either get an HDMI that has one end micro HDMI to a full-size HDMI, or you can simply buy a regular full-size 2 ends HDMI and actually invest in a small adapter that will adapt your camera HDMI from micro to full-size HDMI. The next thing you need is a capture card. Okay, it could be something more complex like this, or it could be just a small capture card like the Elgato that will only help you get the HDMI to your computer with only one input. But for this ATEM mini from Blackmagic, this is a switcher that will be able to take up to 4 cameras, and as you can see, it has up to 4 inputs, and you'll be able to plug your camera here, plug your computer for lyrics or any kind of presentation that you may have for your church, plug another camera in input 3 and input 4 if you have 3 or 4 cameras, depending on how many cameras that you have. Send everything out from the switcher to your computer. So basically this is going to be the middleman between your camera and your computer to be able to live stream. So the way to connect your camera to your computer or OBS is by, as I said earlier, you need the HDMI cable that will come from your camera and goes to a switcher or a capture card, and then from your capture card should have a USB cable or output that will go to your computer. As soon as you open OBS and you go to input, video input, you'll be able to choose the capture card as input in OBS, and you'll be ready to go live streaming or recording. If you're live streaming your service with this camera, how do you get your sound synced with the image to be able to live stream everything all together? The best way to get your sound for live streaming is to get it from your mixing board, where every instrument is plugged to, all the microphones are plugged to, and send one feed out to your switcher or your capture card. So this may be challenging and hard for some people depending on the capture card they're using. Okay, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go into details. However, in my next video, when I'll be reviewing capture card / switcher, I'll talk more about how you can get the sound from your mixer to your ATEM mini, combine it with the image coming from the camera, and send everything together to OBS for live streaming. Now that you have an idea of how this camera works for your recordings and live stream, I hope I have given you enough information to get started. I am going to show you the footage that I took outside with different lenses, and enjoy the show. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have questions, please put in the comments down below. I'll be happy to help you with anything. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you hate it, please let me know so I can improve. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on my next video.